Hi, welcome to Living the Dream series. I'm Rachel. I'm from Creative Pathways Coaching. Welcome today. This is the third in the series, and this video this week is called What's Stopping You? And so it's what's stopping you from getting towards your goals and your dreams. So I'll be teaching you an exercise at the end of this video, which will be applicable to what we're actually talking about, as I do with every video in this series. So these are really good to apply them in your daily life. It'll actually help you and help you work towards attaining your goals. So today we're looking at what stops you. And usually it's pretty common sense, really. What barriers are actually stopping you from getting towards your goals? And most people will identify the external goals or the external barriers, sorry. But there's also what's known as internal barriers. So today we're actually going to look at external barriers. And some of the most common ones I can think of, very common, lack of money. Lack of money, most people, I find, when I'm working with people towards, working towards their goals, is lack of money is a big one. The other one is lack of time, responsibilities in life. And that goes hand in hand with family responsibilities and kids and that sort of stuff. Then we can have lack of energy. For a lot of people, they live a life where energy is an issue. So we're looking at fatigue, that sort of stuff that comes up. Also, in line with that, we have pain. For a lot of people, they experience a lot of pain. So then they get fatigued, and then that's an issue. And as I said before, relationship obligations, family obligations. So those are some of the very, very common external barriers, external obstacles that get in the way towards a lot of people going towards their goals. But one of the things I found with working with people towards, going towards their goals is the fact that these external barriers, although it's important to identify them, usually there is an internal obstacle, an internal barrier behind that. So we'll talk more about internal barriers in the next video, but I just wanted to identify that because you can start working on those external barriers, but you won't be as successful unless you start to identify what those internal barriers are. So just food for thought there. Now, also as well, part of actually working towards those goals is looking at prioritizing yourself. For a lot of people, they don't do this. They'll prioritize everybody else other than themselves. So it's really important to think about. So really think about how many times a day do you think about what do I need? We think about the general stuff like food, drink, that sort of stuff. But I'm talking about stuff like proper self-care, fitness, what we're eating, making sure we're eating healthy, we're taking care of our health. Also, not just that, but also taking care of our mental health in there too. What are we doing to, our time with ourselves when we've got a family at home, when we've got obligations in regards to a career? What amount of time are we spending per day that we're actually giving ourselves? So I want you to think about that and think about how, because that's really important. If you're actually going towards your dreams and stuff, you've got to prioritize yourself. A good way to do that and a good way to start that is through meditation. A lot of people these days are starting to do meditation, and look, I can't recommend this highly enough. And it's really good and it's only 10-15 minutes a day. There are many different meditations, variations of meditations that you can do. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. So also working towards your goals, there are two ways in which to do that. You've got, and part of when I talked about the meditation, you can actually start to look at what's known as visualization. So to be able to look at what you want, you've got to start visualizing it. And these days there's a lot of stuff on visualization, and it's been found there's a lot of evidence towards it as well. So it's really important to get very clear in your head what you actually want and how it's going to look and how it's going to be. So think about that and start to think about, not just vaguely, but start to think about the details in there. As well as that, start to look towards action. And action, you're certainly not going to get towards your goals without action. But the two aspects, the two elements need to be there for you to be successful. And I've just found with working with people that to be the case. They've got to visualize it, then action then can start to be taken. So think about how that could work for you and the ways in which you can do that. So let's have a look at and identify maybe some of the actions that you can take. And a good way to start prioritizing your day and starting to think about those actions is to start planning your day a little bit more. For a lot of people, the day can get away from them. You know, they can be thinking, all right, I've got this and this and this to do. And then suddenly the day goes and they think, oh, look, I haven't done this, I haven't done that. I know that's really common for a lot of people. So we're going to do an exercise today called Time Manager. This is really good for planning a day and getting very clear, firstly, what you want to get done, but also what you would like. And this is sort of almost this is sort of asking the universe what you want things to happen in your day as well. So I'm going to start off, and as I said in the previous video, hopefully you've got yourself a journal by now. Get your journal out, and I want you to, at the top, is to write down Time Manager. So you can even you can actually date it. It's actually good to date it because then you can actually look back on the progress and what you've been doing. So now I want you to put a line in the middle of the page, have two columns. The first column is going to be what I'm going to do today. So this is a list of stuff that you are planning to do today. Be very clear, be very realistic about what you need to do today. And write down everything, details, all the stuff that you are planning to get done today. Then on the next side, on the next column, I want you to write down what you want to happen today. So it can be as, let's say for some people who are looking at losing weight, for instance, I want to lose 0.5 kilo today. I want to not to be so hungry or not to think about food. You can say what you want. Another way you can actually address it is what I would like to feel. So an example may be, maybe you're feeling very stressed at the moment, and you could identify this and put down, I would like to feel happy and content today. So this could be another one. Also as well, if you're looking at something that's going on in your world that you're not having a great deal of control over, you may identify that in there. I would like this to happen, but what you're doing is actually sending it up to the universe. Now, it may not happen that day. It may not happen today that's going to happen, but what you're identifying is to the universe. And each day, as you do this, and this is something that can be daily, this can be done daily, and I actually recommend that this is done daily. It helps to plan your day. So the first column really looks at what you want to get done today, and actually clearly down in a piece of paper. You've actually got it clearly down and you've got a list down of what goes on. Then the universe and what you want. Then the next day, if the universe hasn't given you what you want, you write it down again and continue to write it down. And what's very good, after a couple of weeks, you can actually look back at these lists, and you actually find a lot of this stuff is getting done quicker. And even the stuff that you've actually asked the universe to do is actually happening as well. So this is a really good exercise to start planning your days, to start looking at, and it is going back to the whole external barriers. If you think about that lack of time, or you can think about, this is really good for people who have a lack of time. So get your journals out and get started. So if you like, please like, share or subscribe if you like this video. I'm doing a video every week, so please subscribe if you want to keep continuing to watch this. If you're interested in getting any one-on-one coaching, please visit my website at www.creativepathwayscoaching.com. I also offer a free 30-minute consultation for new clients, so please come visit me, or if you just want to have a bit of a suss. Also as well, on my website, I actually do offer what's called manifestation meditations. They're $25 each. That's Australian $25 at the moment, and they're actually really quite good. They're partly about prioritizing yourself. They only take about 10 or 15 minutes, but they're also about manifestation. So what they actually look at, they're a script. And they look at focusing on your negative self-talk that's going on there. So come and have a look at my website and see if you're interested in stepping forth on that one. So I will see you next week for the next video. Cheers. Bye.